Welcome to Sunday morning rock and roll church with JimBaumerMe. We are here at the First Congregational Bunker Rock Church of Lo-Fi Salvation. We were here last week too. We had a lot of issues around streaming, so we've changed things up a little bit. If you've read the blog, you kind of know what the routine is. Some of this is actually being pre-recorded. We're not live streaming at least the rock and roll church part of it for a variety of reasons. Part of it is I don't want to experience like preparing and working all week to get to Sunday and then stream and have everything sort of fall apart. So the pre-recording piece is, it works. I mean, it's pretty much me playing live, probably on a Thursday or a Friday. Now, it wouldn't be a Friday because that's my long day at work, but it's possible that I may actually do these late at night after, but I don't know, Thursdays are my day off and they seem to work for me. So we're going to run through some songs. We're going to do a sermon. The sermon, I'll just say it's an interesting sermon. I'll leave it at that. This first one's called Divide and Conquer. If you watched the video last week, you know that my drums are actually drum tracks. Some of them are by a guy named Jim Dooley, who has a website, jimdooley.net. He's a great drummer, and I really appreciate that there are options and opportunities to connect with guys like Jim Dooley to basically have some drum backing, since it's been really hard to find a drummer. So without further ado, let's get into the rock and roll this morning at the church. Talk about truth, full of lies, facts and science and fire. Divide and conquer, tear us apart. Powers that be, their special art. Propaganda, peddle this news. It's time to wake up, pick a side and choose. Your brain, begin pushing back, get off that train. Divide and conquer, tear us apart. Powers that be, it's their special art. Propaganda, peddle as news. It's time to wake up, pick a side and choose. Pick a side and choose. Pick a side and choose. was a Divide and Conquer. It's a song that I wrote. It's on my EP, All You Stupid Sheep. It's up on Bandcamp. If you go to Bandcamp and you do a search for JimBaumerMe, or just Jim Baumer, really, I guess, you'll find the EP, All You Stupid Sheep, which is a lot of these songs. And then there's also live versions. Believe it or not, I recorded them on my smartphone, which is the Bunker Rock 4-pack live. I think it's something about freezing in January or something. I don't know. I recorded it down here. Furnace May Kick On. That's why we call it Furnace Rock. It's bunker rock. It's basement rock. It's grungy lo-fi rock. It's, you know, if this isn't something you're used to, then it may be a bit of a surprise for you. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Next one is a song I wrote right around the time. Well, actually, Neil Young wrote this kind of a scathing letter to Trump, calling him a national disgrace. That was back in February a year ago. It would have been 2020. And I kind of worked through some things that Neil Young had to say, kind of had some lyrics. And I was taking guitar lessons with this guy, Alex Roy. Some of you may be familiar with his music back in the day when he was doing emo with Sparks the Rescue, one of the biggest bands ever come out of Maine. They toured with Blink-182 and Jimmy Eat World and a host of others. I don't know if they toured with My Chemical Romance or not. But Alex is a great guy. I've seen him play a number of times. And actually, I was at one of his gigs, and when he was taking a break, I'm like, hey, you do music lessons? And he's like, yeah, actually, I was thinking about getting back into doing guitar lessons. And I asked him if he would give me some lessons. And I took 5 or 6 lessons. And I got a lot out of it. But one of the things I got out of it was picking his brain about songwriting, including turning a chorus around or turning chords around for your chorus, which is kind of how I came up with this one. So if you weren't here last week was a disaster. We had trouble streaming. That's why we're doing some of this as a pre-record. Just because, you know, I really don't want to spend all of my time going through and having people texting me going, I can't get on. I can't get on. And I get the frustration, but it's just, what it ends up doing basically is amping me up and keeping me away from being able to do what I want to do here, which is really kind of work on my performance, you know, and get better as a performer and try to, I don't know, try to get some things done as a performer. So anyways, this is always problematic when you have stuff like this that I can't seem to get back to where I want to get my volume. I'm not really loving this iPad stuff, to be honest with you, but it is what it is, right? Technology always overpromises and underdelivers. Always. Disgrace, a public fucking shame, trashing all your rivals, you never shoulder blame. Talk about corruption, could be your middle name, bait the switch is your shell game. It's how you set your frame. In that global warming, call it just those. Your parts on the planet, tides are rising at the coast. Rain is off and suckers. Show us exactly who you are. Should we trust history? We seem to be destroying our history. can. All your daddy's money won't float another shan. Deny global warming, call it just those. Your parks on the planet, tides are rising at the coast. Greatness often suckers, no lightning in that jar. History will show us exactly who you are. Some see through illusion, your divisive world of hate. Fake news is your mantra, preserve your Watergate. Deny global warming, call it just dose. Your parks on the planet, tides are rising at the coast. Greatness often suckers, no lightning in that jar. History will show us exactly who you are. I wonder if there'll be any history left. National Disgrace. You know, I told the story last week, and I was being somewhat facetious, but I don't know. I kind of felt like you really need an anti-Trump song, right? So, if you're a musician, you're supposed to be far left or a leftist, or you're supposed to believe in peace, love, and understanding, or all of that other stuff, or sex, drugs, and rock and roll, which I'm not sure I believe in either one of those. But writing an anti-Trump song immediately gives you credibility, because most of the people that are really into rock and roll and follow rock and roll performers are like, yeah, man, we're just like so much brighter than you, because we barely graduated from high school, or we didn't, and we'll sing our songs and tell you how to think, and punk rock. I don't know, but so I wrote this song to kind of keep it in the back pocket of my new coveralls. By the way, you see my new coveralls? New coveralls. Back pocket, back pocket, back pocket, big back pocket. I can put a lot in here. I could keep my capo in here. I should start keeping my capo back here. Anyways, But I got that anti-Trump song in my back pocket because the gig police will come around and say, "Do you have an anti-Trump song?" And if I didn't know this ahead of time, I would have been like, "No." And they're like, "Well, I'm sorry, you can't play tonight." But now when they come around, I'm like, "Yeah, got it right here in my back pocket." And I can't remember. I want to give you the brand name. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the link up on the blog. Not that I get any royalties or anything from them, but these are really sweet coveralls. They have a lot of applications, including being kind of a rad rock and roll outfit, right, to play at a rock and roll church service, I guess. I don't know. I need to get a logo. I need to come up with a JimBaumerMe logo. Or maybe something on the back, like, a dragon or something. So when I turn around and I'm fiddling with my amp, you can go, "Oh, man, that's a really cool logo." Okay, Jim. Well, let's do Flying Pizza. This is actually a really good song this week because it's kind of like, those awkward moments when you run into somebody that you've kind of like lost touch with, which I've kind of lost touch with a lot of people. And then when you not only lose touch with people, but then people walk out of your lives for no apparent reason other than the fact that they kind of suck. But anyways, this is called Flying Pizza. On the way downtown, I saw you looking real good, looking the other way. I was hoping that you would not see me. I had nothing to say. It's been a long time, but not too long. And not long enough, I'm thinking to myself, awkward moment, how's your mom? And now you work in the same place, your hair got long. On and on and on and on and in the same old place. Oh, your hair got long. No, on and on and on and on until you can like break away from them. How's your mom? And how you work in the same place. I won't come here if you are. Your hair got long. I don't really give a shit if you cut it. Flying Pizza cover, swearing at motorists. Jim Baumer does a lot of swearing while he is not being a motorist, trying to lead a church service. Jeez, man, Jim, would you just like stop swearing? You like swear all the time. You swear like a parrot. Do parrots swear? I don't know. I've never had a parrot. I know some people who have had parrots, and I think they do swear. I think what they do is they mimic you, right? Don't parrots mimic you? I don't know. I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know much of anything, do I? Do I even know rock and roll? I do know grief and loss. Not that that matters, right? Not that that has any cred. Although somebody told me not long ago at work, because I was like kind of telling them about how tough it is sometimes to just sort of, go through the day and go through a lot of things that kind of trigger you when you talk to people, and you've got to be empathetic. And this person is like, I was kind of sharing like kind of this horror story about work, and she's like, you know what? Of all the people that work here, you probably have the best understanding of what that's like to lose somebody dear. And I don't know. I guess that's not, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's called The Pain of Life. Living pulls me along, not sure where I belong. Hot, sad every day, wish that feeling would go away. Pain's part of life, they say, black and white but mainly gray. Birds singing in the sky, mind's darkness pushed aside. Most say you are wrong, broken record, the same old song. People want a man who smiles, no sense ain't walk those miles. Dark forest, many trees, deep breaths of healing breeze, passing through the hurt again, forever triggered, no plans to explain. Life cycles round and round, nothing new, the same old sound. Days passing on towards death, keep on living and taking breath. Find your way to a brand new place. Light in some open space. It's the pain of life. Mark, of course, and Tracy too. Tracy was a co-worker of ours that was tragically killed in July. Was it July, the end of June, early July? And, you know, unfortunately, as a group of people, we never collectively got to grieve her death. And I don't know, kind of left a hole there for me. And it actually kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. But what do I know, right? I don't know anything about grief and loss. I'm being facetious in case you don't know. So this is a part of the service where I change guitars, you know. It's weird, you know, I'm kind of working at all these transitions. I used to do triathlons. I don't know if can't really do the run part anymore. My SI joint is just too balky, and every time I hit the roads, I just mess up everything. But I can bike, and I certainly swim. You know, swimming is a big deal for me, and I love swimming. So maybe what I'll do is I think it's called an aqua bike. I don't know if they'll have one this summer at OOB at the, I don't even know what it's called anymore, the one that they used to have in August, which, you know, Mark has done it with us. We did it as a team. I actually did it 2 weeks after I fell off my bike and cracked 2 ribs and had a collapsed lung, but that's just me. This next one I'm going to do is living in this world, which is kind of a. I want to do this, and then I'll segue into the sermon. That's what I'll do. I'll do living in this world, then we'll do the sermon, because living in this world kind of ties in, I think, with the sermon, or maybe it doesn't. But so I'm going to do one song after I change the guitar. I don't know. Once again, so my point, the transitions, right? When I used to do triathlons, when you come out of the water after swimming, you swim first, then you bike, then you run, swim, bike, run. My transitions sucked. I'd come out of the water, you got to strip your wetsuit off, and then you got to kind of sit down and, get your socks on and your bike shoes. And I mean, Mary has all of this down, and she taught me well, but she always said, your transition's really bad. And I would go after the competition, and I would look at my transition times, and I'm like, if I could just shave a couple of minutes off each one of my transitions, man, I would have been like not way up there, because I'm not a great triathlete, but I was passable. But yeah, and so my guitar transitions are kind of sucky too. Anyways, you see why that logo thing would be really good on the back of my jumpsuit, because when I turn around and fiddle with my amp and bang into the mic, my amp mic, which I do every time. I always say, don't bang into the mic, and then I do. But if you were looking at my logo, you probably wouldn't even notice me banging into the mic, or you'd be so like captivated with my logo. That's what I tell myself anyways. It's called Living in This World. I wrote it after a particularly nasty dust-up I had on Facebook, and yeah, I mean, people were really kind of sucky, just trying to present some facts and some science, right? Because everyone's like, oh, science, 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 and then the reality is, when you present them with science, they don't want to hear it. So. Living in This World with the great Jim Dooley on drums. something. They mean something, I don't know. I don't know at this time. Shut your mouth if you don't agree with us. Look away, look away. Look away. I was trying to move over there for the people sitting over there in the congregation over there. Hey guys. Living in the world, living in this world. One of the trilogy songs. There are 3 songs. They're part of a trilogy. That's three songs on my new EP. Came out in January. All You Stupid Sheep. 5 value-packed dollars on Bandcamp. My JimBaumerMe Bandcamp page. And if you buy that, you might want to buy the live one, the Furnace Rock and piece of 4-pack glorified lo-fi rock and roll at the First Congregational Bunker Rock Church of Lo-Fi Salvation. Can I get an amen out there? I think I heard one. Hey guys, I see you out there. Anybody remember Romper Room? You have to be a certain vintage to remember Romper Room. And Miss Jo would look out, and I always wanted her to say, I see, Bobby and Janie and Florence and Felix, and I see Jim. And I'd be, oh my God, she saw me. I see you, Julianne. I see you, Mary. I see you, Lisa. Oh, faithful Lisa, always there. Was there for the stream. Suffered through the mess. Hey, Nat. Who else? Who else might actually have taken the time to be here? Maybe Jeff. Hey, Jeff, man. I see you, Jeff. Good talking with you on the Facebook the other day. Who else? Probably not. Oh, I know who I need to see. Hey, Mike. I see Mike. I see Mike up in the Western Mountains, Mike. Right before you get a little bit of salvation, lo-fi salvation, before you hit the slopes. And if Mike's there, maybe Suzanne. Oh, and Diane. I see Diane. I see Diane. I do see Diane. And I hope you're watching, Willa. I see you, Willa. I see Willa, Cleo. Hey, Cleo. And Asia and Nick. And I don't know. I hope I didn't miss anybody. It's hard sometimes looking through my little magic lens here. Technology's okay, but it's hard to see through into your homes. It's probably a good thing, right? Big Brother hasn't quite perfected that yet. You wouldn't want me peering into your homes, I don't think. All right, it is sermon time, so let me get off the stage in my rock and roll garb and come back in my preaching garb. All right? There is a such thing as preaching garb. I'll show you.